I'm not very good at disc golf, and that makes me reasonably mad on a daily basis. This series is just me trying to fix that. If you're new to this series, the format is pretty simple. I start with 10 stock forehands, then I move into approximately 25 practice forehands, working on something specific in my form. Then I go into 10 max power forehands, looking for maximum distance. Then we do the exact same format for backhand. 10 stock backhands, about 25 backhands working on something specific in the form, and then 10 max power backhands. Here's my current distance goals for the off season. Now into the actual video. As for the form related things that I'm working on today, for the forehand, one common error that I make is when I'm coming through trying to make the lever out of my right arm, my elbow just rams into the back of my hip or my rib cage. It doesn't actually have enough space to get all the way around and through the shot. And so what I'm trying to do is create a little bit extra space out here so that I can actually get the lever all the way through the shot, as opposed to my current mistake, which is just tucking my elbow in so early that this is the extent of the lever that I get. This is gonna be way better long term. As for the backhand, I'm starting work on what is traditionally the bane of my existence for the last 2 years of my disc golf life or so, which is one of the common moves that I make when I'm coming through the shot right now is my right elbow's first move is just to tuck down. And that completely collapses any power pocket. Now all of a sudden this is the extent of the whip that I have. You just look like a T-Rex. As a rule of thumb, if you look like a T-Rex, it's probably not the right move. And so what we're trying to replace that with is keeping this right elbow up through the shot long enough to actually hold the power pocket all the way through. So this is the mistake, this is the correction. Now back to voiceover me, many hours after the fact, but I wanted to point out that I'm going to do one thing differently going forward, where unlike the first 2 Tech Disc episodes, I'm going to stop putting the individual throw data on the screen for each throw. Instead, I'm just going to put it in the description. So if you really want to see the data for any individual throw, it'll just be pasted into the description. Instead, I'm just going to put the average on the screen and the change from our very first episode, which I consider a baseline. This is just a time lapse of me throwing my 25 practice shots there, and now we're moving into our 10 max distance forehands. Same exact format for these, where I'm not going to put the individual throws up anymore. It'll just be in the description. Instead, I'll just put the set average as well as the change from our original baseline. And I'm going to do the same thing for the backhands here as well. Now, one other funny thing worth noting is that this garage floor was soaked before I started throwing, and so you can probably hear the squeakiness under my shoes. I live in Minnesota, so the car that got pulled out of this stall so that I had this room to throw basically just melted snow all over the floor. And so it's not in frame, but what I ended up doing is putting a towel down on the ground eventually, and it helped a little bit. I had that there for the forehand as well. Also, hold that thought. One quick form analysis, you can see that that elbow dip is still very prevalent. So this is definitely going to be one of the biggest fish to fry for me. It's going to take a long time to retrain, probably 5 years of bad habit reinforcement there. Anyway, here's the average for my backhand max, as well as the change from day 1, and thank you for watching.